এটা কালি তই হেৰি কৰিছিলি আছে ক'ত লেপটপ এইটো এটা তাতে গ'ল আৰু এটা ডিমাণ্ডে এটা লেপটপ দিলেগে তাতে দিলে অৱশ্যে লেপটপ নাই নহয় এতিয়া প্ৰব্লেম নকৰিলে পাৰি আৰু চাইছো পানী দিব
Good morning, everyone. So the auditorium is still vacant. So I request all of our scientists friends, please inform their students and other colleagues working in their lab to come to the auditorium. So we'll be starting the program within 5 minutes. So please, I request everyone to call all of your students and staff working with you.
হেল্ল' নেটটো অহা যোৱা কৰি আছে নহয়? কি হেৰি আমাৰ এনেকে নেট লাগি আছে ন? সি চাৰ ঘৰলৈ গৈছে লেপটপটো আনিবলৈ। এমটোত লয় এতিয়া। কৈছে নেটটো কাট খাই গৈছিল, এতিয়া আহিছে আকৌ। এতিয়া আহিলে।
কোট খাই গৈছে নেটটো।
এতিয়া তাত এমটন দি দিলে।
মাইকটো বন্ধ কৰি
my colleagues who join on live from different parts of CSIR institutes. It's a proud moment when the country is celebrating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav of 75 years. And CSIR is celebrating its 80th year. And actually 80 years had a very strong significance in Indian mythology. In a few months from now, we will be completing Sahasra Chandra Darshan. So after 81, close to 81 years, if a person lives, they would have seen 1,000 moons. And Sahasra Chandra Darshan has a very big significance. And I'm sure that CSIR, which has started even before India got its independence, will be doing a great job in pushing the nation forward in terms of its science and technology. And we are all very, very proud as CSIR fraternity, whether we are scientists, staff members, or administrative staff, or students. CSIR has contribution because almost everybody, whether they are in the universities or IITs or even DBT, DST, other organizations, CSIR fellowships are very common in the students, and many people would have got the CSIR grants also in the universities, and we are all very proud of CSIR. And coming to CSIR NEAST, we are celebrating the 60th year, and I don't have to tell how important is Shashtabda Purti. So completing 60 years, one full cycle of all years, is a great achievement, and I'm sure that with the blessings of everybody, we are able to make a good beginning by obtaining one of the most coveted prizes in Indian science, which is popularly known as India's Nobel Prize, the Shantiswarup Bhatnagar Award to Vinay Saikia. This is something which is very, very moral boosting, not only for CSIR NEAST, but for the entire country and particularly for Assam. On this occasion, I would like to thank Professor Pulak Mukherjee for coming here. We had collaboration and memorandum of understanding between IBST and CSIR NEAST. And Professor Pulak Mukherjee has a very, very distinguished record. It's very rare to see people who has more than 20,000 citations. There's more than 22,000 citations and an H-index of 70. Truly illustrious. And he has been working in the topmost places in the world. And when he was offered to settle down in US, he came back to India and then worked in Jadavpur University, where his contributions are phenomenal to different areas, and more importantly, ethnopharmacology. Ethnopharmacology is of high relevance to our institute. Sir, thank you very much for all your interactions and then sparing time. And we would definitely be working in this area, which as I always say, that this is a juxtaposition of 5,000 years of knowledge and 100 years of science. So we will have to make the best out of this and then probably use the state-of-the-art techniques like artificial intelligence and machine learning for document, deposit, digitalize, and data science, which might play a very, very important role in bioeconomy and harnessing the biodiversity. And I'm very, very positive that the interaction between CSIR NEAST, IBST, Imphal with its different wings in Meghalaya and Sikkim and other places will definitely be a very, very good combination for the development of Northeast. As a part of our Foundation Day, I would like to take some time to describe some of the successes that we had in the last year or so. We, a laboratory with highly multidisciplinary activities, when the nation was hit by the pandemic, have converted a mechanical shed into the state-of-the-art COVID testing laboratory, which is further converted to the genomic sequencing facility. And we are very proud that in the Northeast, CSIR NEAST and IBST Imphal and Dibrugarh ICMR are the three recognized places for doing the genome sequencing. And we are very, very happy to tell that CSIR NEAST is really obtained this knowledge and did the capacity building. And I'm sure that this particular work will be of great relevance in understanding our biodiversity, quantifying it not only for COVID, but other diseases of infectious and viral diseases, but also the plant pathogen interactions and plant viral interactions. And we are very happy that the aroma mission, which was very successfully implemented, where CSIR NEAST has exceeded Steiner project, Science and Technology Intervention for Northeast region. It is to the tune of about 100 crores, where the CSIR NEAST is the hub, and each state has a spoke. And Nagaland spoke has come, and then we are going to start the other spokes probably within this year. And this particular project will be playing a very important role to disseminate the science and technological interventions that were made in NEAST, CSIR, and also all other DBT, ICMR, BSC organizations for the development of Northeast. And we are also having three themes. The one is environmental care, the second one is herbal formulation, and third is knowledge for empowerment. And Jigyasa program, which has made a huge impact, because if whenever the Prime Minister refers to CSIR, he first talks about aroma mission and the second about Jigyasa program. And Jigyasa, we are doing a pretty good job, and I am sure that NEAST was given the responsibility to spearhead that, and the progress that is there in science should be disseminated at even at school levels, and NEAST is going to do a good job in this. So I'm extremely happy that some centers have come in the last year, and the most notable of them is the Bionest of DBT. We have started this Bionest, and we also have the Center for Excellence in Petroleum Research. And not only that, we have for the first time have MOUs with all the major oil companies in the Northeast. And we visited them, and all of them have visited us more than once. And more importantly, we got close to 4 crores of industry money through these oil companies. And we also have the Regional Center for Facility Creation by NMPB, RCFC, that has come only a few months before, and now we are going to start. And there is also Center for Excellence in Bioinformatics of DBT. And we are extremely happy that the campus is looking more beautiful, at least to my eyes and most of the people. We created 2 artificial lakes in the last 1 year, and we have revived another lake which was sort of not being used for almost 20 years. In addition to that, the campus is now having a lot of space where the biodiversity of the entire Northeast can be put here, where we have planted close to 80,000 saplings last year, and now this year we already had some 10 to 15,000 saplings, and now in this season we are going to target another 1 lakh saplings. So the campus will be more beautiful. There will be lots of biodiversity, lots of flowers, because the floriculture mission also has come. And then despite Northeast is blessed with problems of unique character. Only thing is we will have to look at them. we will have to solve. And this during the COVID pandemic, there were several people who are able to publish some papers in Science and Nature from India. That will give a lot of moral boosting for people to work. And when you are working on larger projects, you can see that it is not about an individual's contribution. Big groups have to come together for making a bigger impact, because most of the papers that come in Science or Nature, they have 6, 7, 8 groups with 50 people or 40 people as the co-authors in that. So it means that it is required that we will have to work in a larger group to make an impact. And working in a group is very important, essential, mandatory, and it's a requirement in CSIR. Because this is very different from universities. Universities will have a mandate and CSIR will have a mandate, and it's very important for people to realize. And unfortunately, some people think that they are doing some research and they are scientists and they can do in whatever way that they want to do. I would like to kindly bring to your notice that CSIR hires people to do some very specific work. So it is the responsibility of the scientists to understand what is the mandate of the institute and work towards that, and at least spend 50 to 60% of their time on the institutional mandate. And remaining thing, if they have some other work of basic interest, we will encourage definitely. But it's not that somebody has taken as a scientist in CSIR and they will do whatever that they want to do, just like a university. In a university, teaching is important and research is something that you will have to do. But teaching is essential. That forms the primary objective of a university faculty. Whereas in CSIR, the CSIR institutional mandate is very important. And I am extremely happy that our institute, many people are able to come together for institutional mandate. When we put the Center for Infectious Diseases, people who have no expertise, 50, 60 people have come together just to meet the need of the nation. This is the spirit. When we have Center for Petroleum Research, 20, 25 people have come together from different branches. That's the spirit. And similarly, when we have projects like aroma mission and floriculture, large number of people should come together. And I'm very positive that if people understand, they can also enjoy. If they enjoy what they are doing, then definitely science will flourish. The most important thing is science should flourish. We should enjoy science. We should be proud that we are scientists. And we also have a responsibility to work towards the growth of India in general and Northeast in particular. And in this regard, I am very happy and thank all of you for your very active contribution to the growth of CSIR NEAST. And I am also thankful for Professor Pulak Mukherjee for such an inspiring collaboration that he proposed. And then we also have several projects which were sanctioned under his leadership on Himalayan resources, and bioeconomy is very important. And I am very keen that how we can integrate the most modern machine learning and AI applications for ethnopharmacology and biodiversity. And in these areas, IBST, CSIR collaborations, the CSIR NEAST in general, and DBT and CSIR in particular will be of great help. We are also trying to collaborate with DRDO and
So before proceeding to the main agenda of today's program, that is Foundation Day lecture, I would like to request Dr. Jatin Kalita, Principal Scientist and Head RPBD Division, to kindly give a brief introduction of Professor Mukherjee, our chief guest. Dr. Jatin Kalita, please.
Thank you, Dr. Kodlani. Good morning to everyone present here. Respected chief guest, Professor Pulok Kumar Mukherjee, respected Director CSIR NIST, Dr. G. Narahari Shastri, it has passed glorious 80 years, and the Foundation Day falls on 26 September each year. But we could not celebrate this Foundation Day on 26th September because our director sir had to attend the central program at New Delhi on 26th. So today we are observing, celebrating the CSIR Foundation Day, 80th CSIR Foundation Day. And we have invited Professor Pulok Kumar Mukherjee, who is an eminent scientist and director IBSD, which is a DBT institution, to give the Foundation Day lecture, and he has kindly accepted and came to our institute besides his busy schedule. So we are fortunate enough to have him here as a chief guest. So I will read a just brief biodata outline of his research work for our research fellows and those who are joined recently, and they may not know Pulok Mukherjee sir, but many of us, we know Pulok Mukherjee, how eminent scientist he is. So I will read out his brief biodata. Professor Pulok Kumar Mukherjee is working as the Director, Institute of Bioresources and Sustainable Development. Commonly we always speak as IBSD, which is under DBT Biotechnology, Government of India, having its presence at Imphal, Gangtok, Shillong, and Aizawl. He has been working as the Director, School of Natural Product Studies, and Professor, who is in Lian now, Department of Pharmaceutical Technology, Jadavpur University, Kolkata, India. He has made several innovative and outstanding contributions in academic and research on development of bioresources, particularly on traditional medicine-inspired drug discovery from Indian medicinal plants, ethnopharmacology, and evidence-based validation of herbs used in medicine and food to make them available from farm to pharma. Professor Mukherjee is a Fellow of Royal Society of Chemistry, Fellow of West Bengal Academy of Sciences, Fellow of National Academy of Agricultural Sciences, India, Fellow of National Academy of Sciences, India, and so on. He has been awarded with several laurels from Government of India and abroad, which includes the Commonwealth Academic Staff Fellowship from Association of Commonwealth Universities, UK, Tata Innovation Fellowship by Department of Biotechnology, Government of India, Outstanding Service Award from Drug Information Association, USA, Career Award for Young Teacher for All India Council for Technical Education, Government of India, Boys Cast Fellowship from DST, Government of India, Best Pharmaceutical Scientist of the Year from the Association of Pharmaceutical Teachers of India, ISTAM Award for Contribution to Development of Ayurvedic and Herbal Pharmaceutics by Indian Association for the Study of Traditional Asian Medicine, and many others. He worked as the Secretary of Society for Ethnopharmacology, India, and President of International Society of Ethnopharmacology, Switzerland. His academic and research career has been outstanding, including globally acclaimed contributions on teaching and research on validation of medicinal plants from Indian system of medicine, their formulation and standardization, which are useful for bioprospecting tools for the traditional medicine-based drug discovery program. He has to his credit more than 220 publications in peer-reviewed high-impact journals with citations for over 22,000, H index of 70, I-10 index over 300. Several patents he has in his credit. Professor Mukherjee has also authored and edited 6 books and 18 book chapters. Recently, he has been honored at least at the list of top 2 of the scientists authors of the world based on the independent survey made by a group from Stanford University, USA. Professor Mukherjee is serving as the consulting editor of pharmacological research, associate editor of the Journal of Ethnopharmacology, Phytomedicine plus Elsewhere Science. He is the member of editorial board of several international journals, including Phytomedicine, Pharmaceutical Analysis, Synergy, Phytochemical Analysis, World Journal of Traditional Chinese Medicine, Indian Journal of Traditional Knowledge, and many others. He is associated as advisor member to different organizations and administrative bodies of Government of India and abroad. This is his brief biodata. However, I request all of our students, young scientists who want to know further about Professor Pulak Kumar Mukherjee sir, they can visit website www.pulakmukherjee.in. So now I am happy and fortunate to request our Pulak Mukherjee sir to deliver his foundation day lecture. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. You have a PDF there, yeah? PDF. Okay. And view. Full screen mode. Full screen mode. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Just come here. Good. Perfect. Good morning. It is my great pleasure to be here. In fact, I'm so happy to see all of you here. And Dr. Sastry is a very good friend of mine for a long time. And in fact, last year, just after the lockdown, he visited us. And after that, Jatin Kolitaji, he also visited IBSD. I joined in February 2020, and after that, we went on lockdown, and then the whole scenario has been changed, and we are looking the world in a very different direction. So we thought that when we discussed last time at Imphal, that how best we can collaborate each other, develop the things, or rather promote the bioresearch of Northeastern region. There are a lot of discussion, and I'm so happy what he said today, that we have real sense some very nice collaborations and work is progressing between both the institutes. And in fact, some of the projects is about to start in this particular context, and many of that we have already started working as well. So once again, on my own behalf and behalf of IBSD, it is our great pleasure to be associated with NIST CSIR Jorhat. And I'm so happy to be present here today physically, which was really long outing. And especially, I'm very much thankful to Sastri Saab for inviting for this 80th CSIR Foundation Day lecture at NIST Jorhat, which is really my great pleasure. And I'll be telling you something on that, the context what he has already told, that say Lok Sasta Parampara, exploring tradition to translation. Say when we talk about that, specifically the this context of Lok Sasta Parampara, you know that lot of things we consider, and many of the things what we are really very happy that the institute in Jorhat, because the people of the plain, and even I am from Calcutta, I also had a different opinion before coming over here. Lot many bad things and very few good things, but I can see there are more good things than the others, and this is one example what we are seeing today. And when we heard about Dr. Binay Soikia got the Bhatnagar Award, so what more the proud moment we can have. And in fact, really, I was so happy when I heard from your director just so I think Sunday morning, and then in fact Saturday onwards he was giving some hint. But then when we really got the news, I was so happy. The son of the soil did his work here itself and proved the capability and made the whole institute proud and whole Northeast proud. So this is a very great moment for all of us. Once again, we thank you very much, Dr. Binay, and it is really a proud moment for all of us that yes, something is very special possible from Northeast. So when we talk about these particular perspectives on this of my talk, when we're going, let me introduce my institute, what Dr. Sastri has told. Our institute is the Institute of Bioresource and Sustainable Development, which have a mission on bioresource development and their sustainable use through biotechnological intervention for the socio-economic growth of the region. So this is our main mission. We are having our main office at Imphal, and in fact we have our one center in Sikkim at Gangtok, and another two nodes, research node at Aizawl in Mizoram and Shillong in Meghalaya. And we do have a bioresource park in Hararo, which is very near to Imphal as well. Now at IBSD, we have different research vertical. As Dr. Sastri was telling, every institute has its own mandate, and we need to work on that. So our mandate includes the phytopharmaceutical mission program, including ethnobotany, ethnopharmacology and drug development, the microbial resource and fermented food, the animal resource, the eco-restoration, water quality management, surveillance and related things. And as a whole, what we work is that synergizing the research vertical of IBSD to catalyze the bioeconomy of the Northeast India. So this is one of the major things on which we are targeting, how best we can develop the bioeconomy from the bioresources of Northeastern region especially. So coming to this Lok Sasta Parampara, as you know that this is one of this is the thread of knowledge what we are carrying forward thousands of years ago. We do not know 1,000 or 5,000, but yes, the translational component on that need to be explored in the scientific aspect. It is not that there is no translation component. There are several, and based on the translation itself, whole our society is developing. And but we need to do more science on that. We need to develop more out of it, and rather document the scientific evidences based on those scientific knowledge. And at the end of the day, that we need to have a lot of innovations from tradition. So tradition meets innovations. This is the major program where we develop a platform for knowledge exchange and empowerment documentation of the knowledge of the traditional healers, specifically who are working on the medicinal plant or medicinal food, and providing healthcare to the nation at large. I know you have a very big group of scientists here at NIST, and a pool of young scientific personalities, including the research scholars, research fellows, and others who have been working here. But I believe that the different discipline on which you are working here have a strong association with the mandate of IBSD, and many of the cases we can have a joint project what we have started. It is a open invitation to all of you. Any of the context on that traditional knowledge, it is not only the medicinal plant or medicine. There are a lot of traditional knowledge which need to be promoted from this Northeast region, which are very unique and that has a very high economic component. So please come up with that concept note and let us work together and develop that things in that the bioeconomy forum, and we should work together. And that is why I have chosen this topic on Lok Shastra Parampara. When we say Shastra, it is the health, but there are a lot of other parampara knowledge which are imbibing generation together, which directly or indirectly has a health effect, but that has a lot of effects on the development of the bioeconomy of the country as well. So friends, specifically when we target with the traditional healthcare practices, the Lok Shastra Parampara, where ethnopharmacology is one of the component. So ethnopharmacology is the study of the ethnic groups and their health, and how their health linked with the medicinal context, specifically the traditional or pharmaceutical knowledge what we have. This word was coined in 1967 specially, and it is when it is grouped under the branch of ethnopharmacology, which looks both the perception and use of traditional medicine within a society. In fact, this society was the International Society for Ethnopharmacology, what was made. And then onwards, LCVR came up with the Journal of Ethnopharmacology, which is now a very good impact factor. And ethnopharmacology by that way involves a wide range of scientists from varying specialties. Say like from starting from anthropologist to modern day the computational scientists, the combinatorial chemistry, and anything and everything is included here, by which we can develop the drugs from nature and drugs from our ancestors. If you see specifically, say from the northeastern part itself, say we have different ethnic group, but keep in mind that this knowledge is not only for the ethnic group or somewhere like that. Why I'm putting this ethnic group specially, the thing is that very recently, in fact, I'm working on this. There are a lot of plants of Northeast, even which is not codified or documented in Ayurvedic or Ayush ministry itself in the documentation. And this is a very interesting thing. It's a very known plant. It is not there in the Ayurvedic text, and that is why it is not coming under Ayush drug. But there are a lot of contexts where definitely we can work together and we can develop the plant or plant species in a very, very different way, where we can work on the on specific aspects where the plant which is being used by those communities, they can be put together, and that can be put or codified in the Ayurvedic system, and that is very much needed. In fact, we are so happy or blessed in our country. We have a separate Ministry of Ayush who is looking after these things, and in fact, India is the only country in the world which have not only 4 different routes for promoting this natural products or traditional practices. Say we can promote it through as a Ayush drug, we can promote as a dietary supplement, nutraceuticals, and in fact we can promote in the Drugs and Cosmetics Act by the rule as a single chemical entity, and also we can promote it as a phytopharmaceutical drug, which has come up very recently. So whatever may be the ethnic community or the medicinal plant, whatever we are there, if it is not codified, like say Ayurveda works on the codified medicines like from Charak Samhita, Sushru Samhita and all, and those things has been these plants from the ethnic group may not be included there, but we can very well include them for the development of the society at large in a very, very different way. So exploring traditional medicinal practices is very, very important. It is not only the plant. Like say, if we see that the healers of Nagaland or even Manipur, that they have their own medicinal plants and which they are mixing with their own some food or something else, and that itself give the major things. And there what we need to do, we just need to do imbibe more science or document them scientifically to develop the whole context. It is not that we are discovering something new. We are rediscovering our own thing which are being practiced by these people from years together. So this is the beauty of this particular knowledge documentation or development. And moreover, what I believe that say today when we are talking about that we have to prove by clinical efficacy, clinical trial, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, you see that these all the medicines has been trial for thousands of years, but we do not have the proper documentations, we do not have the proper development on that context, and we particularly do not have the whole idea on developing the things in a better way. So let us work together in this particular context and explore our traditional healthcare practices and develop them. Like say, so the component is like development of the scientific documentation protocol, and then their scientific validation, and obviously we should work on how best in the regulatory route we can come up with a product, like as I'd say the Ayush route or phytopharmaceutical route or Drugs and Cosmetics Act route, and then develop this ethno-entrepreneurship along with employment generations without interfering with individual autonomy. So it is not that we will be taking that Nagaland traditional knowledge with others. Nagaland traditional knowledge is Nagaland traditional knowledge. Let us promote that scientifically, document it, develop it. Let those people get more benefit, more financial resources with the collaborations with the involvement of national institutes and also involvement of the industries who can promote their product process technologies. And that way, we encourage the startup programs under this Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhijan. So I believe that there are a lot of scope in this particular area for development of this traditional knowledge on the translational component on developing that drugs. So what should be the major targets here? One of the target is the exploring the traditional healthcare practices and specifically the medicinal aromatic plants which are used in this practice. And for that we have to document them and this ancestors medicine, and then we need to add value, the value additions to this traditional knowledge which can lead to the translational or transformational research. And this is one of the component what is being done in many institutes, including your institute here, where we have lot many things to do in all branch of science what is existing. As I said that this drug discovery is a very big program, and all of you know, but to explore that one we need involvement of the whole group for these value additions of that. And this aromatic oil or for the socio-economic development for the medicinal aromatic plants using that one, this is one of the component what you already you have in the you have been working on that. And finally this encouraging the startup programs in the Atmanirbhar Bharat. This is the involvement of the rural or local communities that could lead to this knowledge empowerment. Say one of the major things why we are losing this health tradition is that they are transforming to the generations not in a codified way, but sometimes just word of mouth, and but those things are not being documented, and we have lost lot many. I know many of those cases on which we work with a program from Jharkhand that really we lost so much, and they had a very good lead of malaria, and that was lost in fact. So what I believe that if we can have at least some sort of example where this traditional healers knowledge with the industrial setup with modern science involvement, we can develop this ethno-entrepreneurship, that will be a very big contributions of this of the institutes like us. And when we have such institutes in the Northeast, including IBSD, NIST, and so many others, let us join hand together in this particular context what we have already started, and we can take it in a big way for development of the scientific perspectives in this traditional healers knowledge, specifically on promoting their own knowledge for the better healthcare. And we have also to make this capacity building, or I should say confidence building, because many of the cases these people has been rather, I should say, cheated. They have not been given their due recognition. And what we have made that, in fact, I did work with Jadavpur University through our different forum, and here also we're trying that let the patent rights will be those healers. They will be one of the partner, and definitely they should get their own benefit out of it. And that way only we can promote our whole things. Now coming to the real scenario, say like if you go in many cases, you will see that the word that this is challenging, many of the work has been done, and so many things. If you see this, many of the work has been done. No, this is a common terminology with many forum when you are defending projects or working on that, you will hear. And you can see that if you see the publication profile in this particular context, say out of 300 publication which we did a lot of search with PubMed, Scopus, Science Direct, SciFounder and all. Out of 300 publications, majority of the publications is in the predatory journals, and very few are in index journal which you can represent. So you can understand the status. Google, you can get lot of data, but all those Google data is not true, because we are getting there a lot of data in this particular context which are in the published in the predatory journal itself. So there are enough scope in this particular area to develop, and validation of traditional medicines has not been made which was supposed to be. Now what are the scope? Say it is a multi-dimensional facets. You think about development of those as a botanicals, or a dietary supplements, biological drug, cosmetics, even that as a herbal remedies in homeopathic medicines, as probiotics, vitamins or minerals, as essential fatty acids, or even as a conventional medicines. Then sometime they said no, that for these mind body medicines, no, that like meditation, yoga, acupuncture, massage therapy, movement therapies, and so many other things. These all natural products are being used. And another category is on the finished herbal products, like the mixture of herbal preparation, excipients, active ingredients, and also you can have herbs as a seed, food, flowers, like that way as a whole that is being marketed. And you have the herbal preparations like the extracts, tinctures, fatty oils, and so on. So in many cases you can explore these particular aspects of or medicinal plants which are being used for a healthcare practice. Now coming to the science component of that, say I am a pharmacist, and in fact all of you will believe in that I'm not Ayurvedacharya. So I learned Ayurveda from my Ayurvedic friends, and by that way I enrich my own knowledge. But one thing is very true, that if we have a plant or a traditional healthcare knowledge or whatever, when we are taking that inside, it is having some biochemical reaction, and that there are molecules which reacts together, giving effect, side effect both, and we are getting some therapeutic benefits. This is very much correct. Now we have to know what are the molecules. It is very obvious. But when we are going for the only knowing the molecules, and then we are coming to a reductionist approach of getting a single drug, like we have aspirin, Taxol, vincristine, vinblastine, and then recently we had quinine and artemisinin. You see, any of these drugs, starting from malaria to cancer, anywhere we have an answer from the plant resources only. And think about specifically the malaria, we had that quinine, and now we have artemisinin. In between, we have done a lot of research, lot of things, but none of those has become that much of prominent. But everything has been possible by this omics, specifically the metabolomics study, what we have been working with. And this metabolomics has different parts like toxicogenomics, proteomics, nutragenomics, phytomics, transcriptomics, pharmacogenomics, on which we all are working. And this is the area which need to be promoted in this area of traditional medicine research or medicinal plant research. And what I believe, like say, if we can develop this metabolomic concept of medicinal plant, specifically the traditional medicines, there are enough scope on this particular area to be developed. And in this, we have to have a lot of analytical profile developed, on which many of you are working, and the scientists throughout the country as well. But this is one of the thrust area where we have so much of contributions to do to promote this particular system of medicines to the status what is needed, and rather to make it more evidence-based validations of the traditional knowledge. Like say, we have the evidences, we have to do some science on that, and establish those evidences based on scientific basis. So on that, we have been working on that. You see that if you feel that it is not only the beauty of this particular area is that it is not only the traditional people have told, but many of this plant is used as food. So this food is our medicine. This is one of the very great context. And that way, as I told, that the failure of research, like say if you synthesize a molecule, go to clinical trial, at the end it can fail. But here, you know that this whole system, that the plant medicine work, and we are going through developing a molecule just to quantify it, evaluate it. But we should not think about only the molecular basis. Rather, we should establish the molecules together to prove its synergism. And that is what is possible by metabolomics. And this is one of the context what we have been nurturing, and this is the things what we should. Here is an example on that on Lufa acutangula, which is a carbonic anhydrase inhibitors, means as a diuretic it works. And you can see there are a lot of molecules together, and by that way we prove that synergistic approach for developing this as a drug. And another prominent example on the Tinospora cordifolia, the Guduchi, where this combination synergy based network pharmacology neighborhood approach can very well work for developing drugs, where we have 27 metabolites, and many of these metabolites, when we work with the combination synergy, observed for immunomodulations, and it is one of the potent plant which is being used in during this corona time as well. And another example is with the Karela, the Momordica charantia. As you know that this is a pancreatic lipase inhibition, and it works in the bioactive molecules, and which again with metabolomics we established its efficacy. This is one prominent example where, say, like if you see the food habit of East and Northeast, no, more or less similar type of vegetables we eat. And the interesting thing is that one single family, Cucurbitaceae plant family, that contributes more than 105 vegetables of this particular region. And we started a program on that with DST, and it has come up with a very good results. That what we feel that these Cucurbitaceae food plants, and this is one of the great resource in this particular region, which can be explored again as a dietary supplements to a high extent. And we are promoting that to this metabolomics concept, where this metabolomics and ethnopharmacology that meets each other and developing the products and process like that. Now, how this metabolomic analysis we can link with the traditional concept. This is one of the example on this Trigonella phonium grassum. You know, methi is a very, very well-known medicinal plant, where in this LCMS-MS analysis, we identified 13 compounds, and this combination synergy network, we identified 23 targets. And these 23 targets, in fact, they are interacting with 13 compounds based on the network neighborhood approach. And through this pathway analysis and these compounds interacting with the key proteins, which activates that EGFR, AKT, or mTOR signaling cascade. By that way, we prove that how this hyperglycemic potential of Trigonella it works. And now it has become one of the major concept which has been promoted for promotion of Trigonella. So this is one sort of value additions. As I said, that the use of methi for this hyperglycemia is long codified by Ayurvedic text in Charak Samhita, Susu Samhita and all. Now, if you take that link of Charak and make with this our combination synergy network, and definitely it add value to that to promote this particular product or process to a higher extent. The same is true for Andrographis paniculator, the Kalmeg. As this is one of the plant which is being promoted for this in the COVID pandemic. Specifically, we worked on that, and this immunoprotective potentials of this Kalmeg. On that, in fact, one of the industry which they are joining with us, we are developing a product for that, where we saw 22 metabolites, and this PPI network analysis of the disease gene association network showed immunomodulatory potentials with the combination synergy observed for immunomodulation. And we made these anti-inflammatory agents having effects on the upper respiratory tract infections and can significantly decrease the production of cytokines. and these pro-inflammatory cytokines, and it has a direct impact on this this coronavirus. It has been proven by many other reports. In fact, Thai government has recently accepted this as one of the major product, and India government accepted long back. So metabolomics is one of the major contexts. It is not only for single plant, what we have told, even it is true for the formulation as well. We have studied with several these codified Ayurvedic formulations, because this was a challenge for us to establish this area, even to the not only to Ayurvedic physician or even other people, but also to the modern scientist as well. So truly speaking, people have the idea that a jodi buti ka research is mein kuch nahi hoga. That is the idea. But you see 40% of the population is depending on that. You see the village of not only Northeast, even in the plain land also, they are surviving on this jodi buti research only. So fault is that we have not done more science. Rather, we are afraid of doing more science. Maybe we cannot prove it, and we are not putting our own whole effort together to develop this science. That is why this is iska hal is taraf hai. But things are so good to see that even in the we have a separate Ayush ministry who are promoting this particular thing. DBT, CSIR, DST, everybody has taken up this in a very big way, and we feel proud to be a country where we have so many regulatory perspectives for promoting these particular aspects. It was a challenge for us, in fact. When I started this area of working at Jadavpur University in 2002-03, that they asked me that, okay, single plant you are telling, even single plant you are showing 27, 30 molecules. If you take average 10, then you think about Chyawanprash, that there are around 32 ingredients. If you say average 10, so 32 into 10, 320 chemical is there, maybe more than that. So how we can standardize? Single answer: if we can go to moon and space, we cannot do research on our own product, what we have in our system. So we are the fault. It is not that who discovered Chyawanprash, the Rishi, 1,000 years back or 5,000 years back. He is the greatest scientist of the world. We should have due respect to him and doing more science on that and add value to the Chyawanprash. And you see the economic importance again. Even COVID has shown us, no? Sale of Chyawanprash has increased 42%. See, when and that means what? This combination medicine, it works. Otherwise, why people are taking that? And if you see the growth of pharmaceutical industry, when it is 8 to 10% in this COVID time, and some industry there are very less growth. The pharmaceutical, this Ayurvedic industry, specifically those who are making these formulations in this particular context, their growth is average 36 to 42%. So the system works. And as I tell, this was a challenge for me, even from the ministry side and so many other side, you know, that how you can make metabolomics with the formulation. Here is an example, like say we did with Triphala. That is not here, I believe, because that was the first work what we did. Say Triphala, 3 fruits mixed together. 3 means 3 and phala fruits, no? So 3 fruits mixed together 1,000 years back. You will be surprised to know that these 3 fruits contain the same metabolites, gallic acid and ellagic acid, same. So you just see how intelligent scientists those rishis were. So they didn't mix am jam kathal, like that they mixed this Terminalia valerica, Terminalia chibula, and Ambelica officinalis, which contain ellagic acid as a common ingredient to all and gallic acid as a common ingredient to all. And this ellagic acid is a proven antioxidant and lot with immunomodulatory potential. Gallic acid is a proven antioxidant and anti-cancer property also. And so what we are doing, we are just knowing by we have our now LCMS, GCMS, HPLC, so many things. So science has become easier rather. And we are just reinventing our own system and redeveloping or rather redocumenting the scientific invention what those people did. So we are not doing something hi-fi research here, rather rediscovering our own traditional system, our own medicine system of medicine to make it popularized in the scientific community and make it get it the glory of science by which we can promote them. So friends, this metabolomics based scientific validations for the formulation is very much possible in that particular context, and we can very well develop that. On that, we have made now series of documents how best this is possible, and then linking them to the industry, developing the things better, that how best this quality evaluations or the scientific validations of this traditional knowledge or traditional medicine is very best possible, promoting the quality of our own traditional systems which are there. And this particular metabolite analysis or metabolomics not only helps in knowing their metabolites, but also to establish the mechanistic approach, the safety, quality, and other context as well. And what I believe that this, if we can do work on this particular context, what we have been doing, and let us join hands, specifically IBSD and niche scientists who have been working in this area, we can very well promote some specific resources of northeastern region and can link them to the industrial setup, which we have been thinking of. In fact, we had a series of discussions with Sastry Saab, with Dr. Kalita and many of other scientists here. So let us put those things together and develop the things in a better way for this ethnopharmacology driven product development, tradition to translation. And I believe that these traditional practices, if we can have this scientific validation, synergistic study, metabolomics, then system biology, pharmacology, and starting with that phytoinformatics, at the end we can come up with this ethnopharmacology driven development of these traditional healthcare products, which are our ancestors' knowledge. So they are the drugs from our ancestors, and let us promote those drugs and preserve them and put them to the national healthcare mission, which is very much needed in the present context. And as I told that we have to have both the approach here, the reductionist approach and the synergistic approach. If reductionist approach, we are getting some molecules which has a therapeutic benefit, definitely it is good. Otherwise, we can promote this in synergistic approach, and there are several regulatory routes, what I have already told, in the IUs or in FSSI mode or even the phytopharmaceutical mode, we can develop those product process. And systematic approach for this quality evaluations and validations of this traditional medicine is very, very important, and which now the things has developed to a good extent when we have different departments, they have their own perceptions in this particular area, where we must have to work on this particular context, where we have developed several documents. In fact, this is the document on quality control and evaluation of herbal drugs, which is where we tell more about those approaches of drug development. But this evidence-based validation, this is one of the documents with 22 countries together, we developed through approach of the WHO. And I am in that working group of WHO on which the Asia Pacific region, where we had a forum in Beijing, and we developed that. But we feel that, as I told, that when we say evidence-based, we are not doing something new. We have the evidences, based on that we are working. So let us enrich our own evidence of traditional knowledge and develop the drugs from ethnopharmacology or bioprospectings. And obviously, we can come up with this with the encouraging startup programs under this Atmanirbhar Bharat, where the involvement of rural and local communities could lead to knowledge empowerment and exchange, and whereby learning through drugs from nature and our ancestors could truly lead to innovation from the traditions with the scientific validation. In fact, that is the things what we needed. And when we develop those, then only this the things of recognitions of our research and the community people working in the field will come to an area where we can have the industrial and developing industrial linkage for promoting product, process, and technologies. And I'm sure that with all your support, we can work together with the unique bioresources of Northeast what we have. And many of these bioresources, as I told, that they are not documented or codified in Ayurvedic literature. I'm not telling it is whose fault, but we are there to include that one. We have been working on it, and it is very much needed. Like say we talk about Paris Poriphylla, I'm telling you one example. And Paris Poriphylla is not included in Ayurvedic text. So it cannot come as a Ayush drug. Similarly, surprisingly, Paris Poriphylla is not being explored by any big industries who are making product. And in fact, even though after 2020 February joining, many of our work is on COVID, but my interest is in this area. I was really surprised seeing that, and then I put forward this all observation, and we want to work together in this context with CSIR NIST, that how best we can put forward this in the map of Ayush Ministry and different other things, where starting from mass scale production to quantifications or evaluations of the component, everything we can bring together. Now, one very specific example of Northeast product process, what I want to tell, what Dr. Sastry was telling, that mandate of the institute, how it matters. Say, you know that in fact, I do not know where it is. We have a program. We have started a program on this that reimagine ethnopharmacology, where say you know that we are all experiencing the world from a different angle, and very less persons is present here who have not taken Ayurvedic kadai during this COVID time, or even the infusion of the tea. Everybody has taken. Maybe sometime you have been advised to take, sometime you have taken up his own. You do not know what is the science behind it, maybe you do not know what are the molecules there. So there's the faith and belief what we have, and yes, it works. That is why we are taking. The same is true for this, as I was telling you, Chyawanprash and its cell and everything. See, there is one specific ingredient, bamboo biosilica, which is called Bangs Lochan. Okay, and this Bangs Lochan is very, very important ingredient in Chyawanprash. Now you see, we have around 9,000 plus licensed manufacturers of Ayurvedic drugs in India, and out of that 7,660 they produce Chyawanprash, this much high selling product in India and abroad. Now out of the 7,000 plus industry, they are making Chyawanprash. Everybody needs Bangs Lochan, and Bangs Lochan is produced only in Northeastern region. It's a single example, you see. That means what? It is very true that they are not giving Bangs Lochan, they are giving something silica chemical. There is no other second thought. So we should not make story on that. True is true. Now, how best we can make available this Bangs Lochan for the industries who are making Chyawanprash, that we should think of, and we can involve the local government, local people, local scientists, and we can make work on that. And we started working on that. We got very good lead from Mizoram. In fact, this was pointed out by an MP who is having an industry, Ayurvedic industry, in one of that webinar what IBSD organized with International Society of Ethnopharmacology. And we have come up with a lot of observations on that, and what we feel that this Bangs Lochan or this biosilica is one of the major component, and like that lot many is there, which has really a great value to promote in this context. And many of these plants, what you know, which are being put, not only the plant, even the food, specifically the fermented food of Manipur and other parts of the northeastern regions, has a great value in the scientific development. So food as medicines, that boost the natural products and definitely the bioeconomy of northeastern region, and where the herbs, herbal materials, herbal preparation, or finished herbal products together can develop this natural health product as a whole, and we can have a real translation from tradition. And this translation is possible evaluating the therapeutic claim, evaluating the chemical validations or chemical evaluation. So we can have those local health tradition by which we can do the therapeutic validation, chemical validation, and based on that we can go to the product process technology development, and we can have this translation from the tradition at large. And at IBSD, like you, we have a lot of outreach program, and as I told, this reimagine ethnopharmacology is one of this which is going on for last 1.5 years, and we have come up with a lot of potential output out of this. IBSD, we started during this COVID as usual. We had the testing facility earlier. We are providing with the RT-PCR machines. Now we are working on this, providing that the iLab, that mobile van. On that we have been working with. We have the genome sequencing facility, which have been working for not only for Manipur but other state as well. And we came up with a compendium on these antiviral medicinal plants of northeastern India, where we are exploring the antiviral potentials of those medicinal plants, which has been documented in this particular context, and many more. And my colleagues, one of my colleague, Dr. Nanocha is here, who have been taking really very good interest in this particular area for developing the whole biodiversity or other bioresources of northeastern region, specifically the healthcare is concerned. So particularly this specific vision, what I put forward from my own side, in fact, I'm trying to inculcate this to many of these. And I had a discussions with Dr. Sasti on that. Say we have this multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary, or the intradisciplinary stakeholder in this particular region. And I never thought that petroleum is one of the department or section what you have here. So this is a new addition to me. Like that, lot many new is there which we may not know. But what I believe that we must have a strengthen this integrated and synergistic interdisciplinary research, and this is very much needed. And this should be within Northeast, and not only the Northeast, even East, Northeast together at least, because we have to have the people from the other scientific area where we have less potential. And by that way, if we approach, then we can approach for the bioeconomy development to the bioresources of Northeastern region. It can be from plant resource, from the ethnobotany, ethnopharmacology, microbial resource, or even the petroleum resource or whatever. And this integrated and synergistic interdisciplinary research, this can be a group, this can be the group of institutions together. There will be a lot of hindrance, as I tell people used to say, challenge. Let us take the challenge, what is wrong there. And if we can prove this challenge few percentage of it, then automatically the whole things will move on that direction. So I am very much hopeful that with all your involvement, CSIR, NIST and DBT, IBSD will be able to work together in this particular context for this Jaiva Sampada or Jaiva Arthiki. And I'm sure this bioeconomy for bioresources is one of the major mandate of us, which we can take forward together with all of your efforts and willingness to work together. Another thing what I want to tell here, like say to promote these our natural resources, we should have our own specific societal component, and this is one of the society which is here. In fact, the Society for Ethnopharmacology, many of you know, many of you are member of that. This is one thing which was promoted by our respected former President of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. In 2012, in fact, we had this forum established, which was in Kolkata, where 55 countries people, they joined together. And Luke Montagnier, you can see at the backside, no? Luke Montagnier, who discovered the HIV virus, the Nobel laureate, he came. He is now working on Amazon forest, and in the Chinese group, he is working on this developing antiviral drugs. So Luke Montagnier is one of the mentor of this total group. So Dr. Kalam, he inspired us to develop this society, and now this society has more than a dozen of chapters in individual state. And one thing he told me that Mukherjee, you should have 100 like-minded people together to make one chapter, and that way promote the whole things whole world. I told to that in the discussion, no, very politely, that I am really suffering to get 10 like-minded people. 100 is really very tough. Then okay, 50%. So you take 50. We made it as our in our mandate, no, that 50 members can have a chapter, and then you promote your own resource, your own traditional knowledge, and make to the extent where we can bring 9,000 plus scientists throughout the world who are editor of any of the journal or even CEO of any of this multinational industry. They are all linked with us. Then we can bring anybody anywhere, maybe it in Jorhat, Guwahati, or even Delhi, Kolkata, anywhere, because that is the strength of us. And by that way, we brought a Nobel laureate in Kolkata for inaugurating this event. So the society provides an ideal platform for interacting debate, dissemination of ideas amongst professionals, scientists, and technologists, and develop a roadmap for strategies of research on ethnomedicine, ethnopharmacology, and traditional health practices. So our major mandate here is globalizing local knowledge, localizing global technology. That is the mission. And if you go through the society website, actually this is the things what we requested Dr. Kalam after this inception. because he was bit, when we met him second time at his residence, I can still remember that morning. Maybe his personal secretary briefed something to him that the society people have come. He thought that it is an NGO, another NGO has come for some favor or something like that. And they were speaking Tamil. I understand Tamil. Okay, I speak Tamil little. And I told that we came here to get an article from you, which lecture you gave in Kolkata, and that we want to put in the society website, which we will be launching, so that people get inspired. He was really surprised, and he told me that my lecture, everything will be given. You are my editor. You edit it. Copyright is given. Put it in the website, and I want to see that chapters of there in India. And we feel proud to this great soul that he inspired us, he mentored us, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, by which we have the society established, and we are really very proud and to say that let us join together to develop this particular forum where we can really do globalizing local knowledge or localizing localize our global research, and go through these articles on dynamics of ethnopharmacology. See, the Missile Man wrote an article on ethnopharmacology, which is freely available in the website www.ethnopharmacology.in. Go through that and you will get new idea, new dimension of this thought process of this ethnopharmacology and traditional health practices. So with this, I conclude here, and thank you and to all the scientists and the students, researchers, and many thanks to Dr. Sastry for making it happen and physically, because we are talking virtually many times, and in fact this is a different interaction. So there are a lot many things to do. Bioresources are the nature's gift for everyone. Let us promote those gifts, preserve those gifts, and do more science for its promotion, so that we can really feel proud that Lok Shastra Parampara can have a very potent translational component by which not only our traditional healthcare practices but other traditional practices can be promoted to a high extent through the involvement of the national institutes like IBSD, NIST, and many others. Thank you once again. Namaskar.
Thank you. So, good morning, friends. It's a very refreshing lecture where the World Authority on Ethnopharmacology has delivered what we can do to bring our traditional knowledge, because sometimes scientists are very much afraid even to talk about certain things which are not scientifically validated, and fearlessness is the key for taking the nation forward. And the spirit of globalizing the local knowledge and localizing the global technology is something very important, and it is essential for us to globalize the local knowledge and make benefit out of that. And on this occasion, we have a very important person, a well-wisher of NIST, Sri Kamekya Prasad Tasa sir, who is the Honorable Member of Parliament of Rajya Sabha, and I see that he is a scientist by nature. And wherever he goes, and even in Delhi also, he will go and then spend some time in CSIR, DBT, talk to the people. Actually, when I went 2 days before in the headquarters, 2 people talked about Tasa sir. He said that yes, he will come and he will discuss about science. And today in the morning, he wanted to come and then honor Vinay Saikia, and he does not want everybody to know. He just wanted to come and then talk to them. And we grabbed that opportunity and we invited him to come and encourage us and support us. Thank you, sir. Really, we need people like you who are at the highest level, where we have to wait for you to get some time. You yourself have come, and we are very much honored, and we are also very lucky to have a support from people like that. And I request Sri Kamekya Prasad Tasa, Honorable Member of Parliament, to come to the dais And the person who is responsible for getting his attention, also Dr. Binay Kumar Saikia, also to come to the dais. Binay.
Thank you. So it's been an honor to have among us Mr. Kamakhya Prasad Tasa, Honorable MP from Jorhat constituency. So it's I would like to request like a member of parliament in Rajya Sabha. So I request Honorable Director CSIR NIST Jorhat, Dr. G. Narahari sir, to felicitate Mr. Kamakhya Prasad Tasaji with a Pulam Gamusa and a flower bouquet. I request Ms. Resha and Sneha to assist sir. So as directors have said, Sri Kamakhya Prasad Tasaji is here to felicitate Dr. Binay Kumar Saikia, the Santi Sarup Bhatnagar Awardee of 2020. I request him to do the honor. Thank you. Thank you, sir. So now I request Sri Kamakhya Prasad Tasaji to say a few words on this occasion.
মাননীয় এই ইনষ্টিটিউটৰ ডাইৰেক্টৰ ডক্টৰ শাস্ত্ৰী ডাঙৰীয়া, আমাৰ ইয়াত উপস্থিত এথনো ফাৰ্মাকলজিৰ ওপৰত এটা সুন্দৰ লেকচাৰ দিয়া প্ৰফেচাৰ মুখাৰ্জী ডাঙৰীয়া, পুলক কুমাৰ মুখাৰ্জী ডাঙৰীয়া, আৰু আমি অতিকে গৌৰৱান্বিত আৰু ভাল পাইছো যে নিষ্টৰ পৰা এজন বিজ্ঞানীয়ে ভাৰতৰ নোবেল প্ৰাইজ বুলিয়ে কৈছো, সেইমতে কৈছে শান্তি স্বৰূপ ভাটনাগৰ বঁটা পাবৰ কাৰণে সক্ষম হৈছে ডক্টৰ বিনয় কুমাৰ শইকীয়া ডাঙৰীয়া। জ্যেষ্ঠ চাইণ্টিষ্টসকল, জুনিয়ৰ চাইণ্টিষ্টসকল, I am very happy to be here in this 80th established day of, we now also we call it RRL, not NIST. It is very popular as a RRL, and now it is NIST, which stands as a what you call one of the most important institution of not only Northeast but India. I appreciate the scientists of NIST who have worked for last 80 years and who are here, or they have left. All the scientists in this very day, I pay my respect to all of you. আজি শাস্ত্ৰী ডাঙৰীয়া এটা কথা কওঁতে, শাস্ত্ৰী ডাঙৰীয়া মোক মাতিলে, মই একচুৱেলি I am not come as a member of parliament. মই জাষ্ট ডক্টৰ বিনয় শইকীয়া ডাঙৰীয়াক কালি মই ফোন কৰিছো যে মই আপোনাক এবাৰ লগ ধৰি যাম। কেনেকে আপোনালোকে গম পালে মই নাজানো, মোক ৰাতিপুৱা কৈছে আমাৰ সকলোৰে ৰেছপন্সিবিলিটি আছে ইনষ্টিটিউটটোৰ প্ৰতি। We are related to politics. Politics is not like that. It should be separated from everything. It's a key mechanism of development. সব পলিটিচিয়ানক একেধৰণে ভাবিলে নহব। আমি we are a social service, আমি social service লগত জড়িত থকা মানুহ। We are not a professional politician also. we always like to appreciate the good works of the people, and I have অসমীয়া বুজি পায় না মুখাৰ্জী গম পায় না অসমীয়া বুজি you know Assamese বাঙালী আৰু আসামী একে সংস্কৃতিৰ অলপ গণ্ডগোল হ'ব পাৰে ৰটো ফুট দিলে বা যি নহওক in this very forum ये फोरम से हम लोग का वाइस प्रेसिडेंट डॉक्टर सॉरी वेंकैया नायडू जी एम वेंकैया नायडू जी क्या बोला था आपको कोई है तो याद होगा पहले आसामीज बोलो देन यू स्पीक इंग्लिश देन यू गो टू इंग्लिश सॉरी हिंदी देन यू गो टू इंग्लिश ये सुनो কোনোবা আছে যদি মনত থাকিব লাগে তেওঁ কোনো কাৰণতে ইংলিশ কোৱাটো নিবিচাৰে আমি সেইকাৰণে ইংলিশ পাৰ্লিমেণ্টতো ইংলিশ খুব কম কম তেওঁ ইংলিশ কয় হি স্পীক্স ইংলিশ ইন পাৰ্লিমেণ্ট বাট in this very from in this diet when he visited NIST he spoke to everyone and he told us that Hindi में बोलो पहले असमीज में बोलो उसके बाद हिंदी में बोलो अगर आपनालोके তেওঁ টুইট চাই যদি তেওঁ পোস্ট চাই যদি বহুত সময় অসমীয়াত লিখে অসমীয়াত লিখি পেলাই তেওঁ পোস্ট কৰি আমাক কয় যে এইটো পোস্ট কৰ অসমত is a very intellectual person but जी নহওক এই কথাটো এখানে কল যে মই অসমীয়াত কৈ আছো আপোনালোকে ট্ৰান্সলেট কৰি লব মুখাৰ্জী ট্ৰান্সলেট करो आपने जो एथनो फार्माकोलॉजी का बात बोला आई हैव हर्ड अभी अभी मैं बात कर रहा था एथनो फार्माकोलॉजी जो यहाँ पर जो हर्ब्स है ये हर्ब्स के बारे में कितना क्या बोला उसको उसका आविष्कार ऑलरेडी यहाँ पर है ही बहुत प्लांट्स है जो प्लांट्स हम लोग अभी उसको ये कोडिफाइड नहीं किया I spoke to honorable minister now he is a minister of Ayush Sri Sarvanand Sonowal ji he is visiting many institutions of Ayush all over the world if you see yesterday he elected as a member of parliament for Rajya Sabha আৰু আমি একেলগে বহিম আৰু বহুত সময় তেওঁৰ লগত আমি একেলগে কাম কৰিম Northeast in the of scenario of all India, everyone speaks that Northeast is a hub of organic hub. It's a bhandar of many Ayurvedic plants. But मैं यदि मेरा जानकारी है मैं इसको प्रोफेशनली किसी जगह पे इसको प्लांट करने का व्यवस्था नहीं देखा है नो वन इज प्लांटिंग देयर इज ए इंडस्ट्री ऑफ स्वामी रामदेव जी इन तेजपुर देयर इज ए इंडस्ट्री ऑफ आई थिंक some other Ayurvedic product established in Tezpur also Dabur and other things কোনো মানুহে no one is planting in not in Assam not in all over the northeast গিলয় কাটিয়ে আছে এটা গিলয় খাব লাগে বুলি কই যে গিলয় কাটি কাটি হেকে কৰি দিলে অৰ্জুন গছ যিমান অৰ্জুন গছ দেখিব অৰ্জুন গছৰ গোটে গাটো কাটি হেক কৰি দিছে কোনো কিন্তু একজোপা অৰ্জুন গছ ৰোৱা নাই তাৰ বাকলিটো ভাল বুলি কৈছে সবে কাটি আছে নাই এজোপা অৰ্জুন গছ ৰোৱা মানুহ নাই আপুনি চাব আপোনালোকে লাহে লাহে কপৌ ফুল আমাৰ বহুত ইম্পৰ্টেন্ট বুলি কৈছে কিন্তু কপৌ ফুল লাহে লাহে নাইকিয়া হৈছে I have requested RFRI to make it in their agenda আৰু কি বুলি কইটো টিউবত যে কৰে বাজি নহক তেওঁলোকে আৰ্টিফিশিয়ালি তাক উৎপাদন কৰিব কাৰণে কৈছো ইট ইজ নট এ মেডিচিনাল প্লান্ট বাট ইট ইজ ইন এন্ডেঞ্জাৰ্ড পজিশন আপোনালোকে ক'ত আছে কওকচোন কঠাল পাবলৈ নাই অসমত সেইকাৰণে what my meaning is that you encourage because you are the chief of the bioresource and sustainable development in Imphal you have got the responsibility not responsibility but you can appeal the people of Northeast to plant this medicinal plant as in a professional way so the industry can take advantage of this khali enokwa hoy goise je manhe immediately people need allopathy medicines not Ayurvedic I visited All India Institute of Ayurvedic Ayush All India Institute of Ayurvedic Science in New Delhi I have seen a very big institution আৰু প্ৰধানমন্ত্ৰী ডাঙৰীয়া নৰেন্দ্ৰ মোদী ডাঙৰীয়াই তাক এটা বিৰাট ডাঙৰ ইনষ্টিটিউট কৰিব কাৰণে বিচাৰি আছে खोज रहा है प्रधानमंत्री उसको खोज रहे हैं पूरा इंटीग्रेटेड करने के लिए आयुष में कर रहा है पूरा आयुष यूनानी सबको एक साथ में लेके चलने का बात बोल रहे हैं तो इसको थोड़ा देखना है मैं हाई एल्टीट्यूड Institute of what do you call in Srinagar. I have visited that institution of DRDO. I have seen that they are now planting some medicinal plant in their campus. So in Northeast का भी हम देखा है आप लोग, but you have got lots of streams: chemical science, biological science, material science, engineering science, advanced computation and data science, geoscience, Center for Infectious Disease, Center for Petroleum Research. ये गुटे ब्लैक विषय आप लोग इसको देखते हैं, इसमें इसको भी आयुष का तो भी जोड़िए, इसको जोड़ के इसको भी रिसर्च करने के लिए बोलिए। इसको क्यों क्या होगा तो जोरहाट और अपर असम में आपको इसको दिखाई देगा। इतना व्हाट यू कॉल ये मार्केटिंग होता है, ब्लैक मार्केटिंग ऑफ बल्क्स एंड अदर थिंग्स फ्रॉम नॉर्थ ईस्ट। यार पर बहुत बस्तु जाए, এটা সৰু কথা চাব। আমাৰ আগৰ পলিচি নাছিলে, বাহিৰৰ পৰা আগৰ বেয়া বস্তুবিলাক আহে, ইয়াৰ পৰা তেল গুচি যায়, বিৰাট ডাঙৰ এটা বেয়া মাৰ্কেট চলি আছে। এইটো গভৰ্ণমেণ্টে চেষ্টা কৰিছে ৰখাবৰ কাৰণে। যি নহওক মই কথাটো এইকাৰণে ক'লো, এজ ইউ হেভ স্পোকেন, আই হেভ হাৰ্ড अबाउट यू एंड कोडिफाइड करबो কাৰণে যিবিলাক ব্যৱস্থা আছে, जो व्यवस्था है इसको आप लोग देखिएगा और गवर्नमेंट को आप लिखिए। आई विल स्पीक टू ऑनरेबल मिनिस्टर ऑफ आयुष सर्बानंद सोनोवाल जी टू विजिट योर इंस्टीट्यूट आल्सो। आई डेफिनेटली ही विल विजिट योर इंस्टीट्यूट। He told me that I am going to visit and I have requested Honorable Chief Minister and Minister Ayush to visit this. তেতিয়া young যিবিলাক সাইন্টিস্ট আছে, এই young সাইন্টিস্টৰ লগত এবাৰ ইন্টাৰেক্ট কৰাই দিব লাগে। ইন্টাৰেক্ট কৰাৰ পিছত আপোনালোকে যেনেকৈ ডক্টৰ বিনয় শইকীয়া আমাৰ শান্তিস্বৰূপ ভাগৱতৰ বক্তা পাইছে, এটা জীৱনজোৰা সাধনা, এটা জীৱনজোৰা কাৰো তাত কন্ট্ৰিবিউশন নাই। আপনার মা দেউতা, আপনার শিক্ষক, আপনার ইনস্টিটিউশনটোৰ কন্ট্রিবিউশন আছে। ইট ইজ নট এ কন্ট্রিবিউশন অফ এ পলিটিশিয়ান এন্ড মেম্বার অফ পার্লামেন্ট। আমার হল আমি পিন্ধা, আমি যে কি কেনে আহিলো গম পাইছে নে নাই? তেওঁ পুরস্কারটো পালে গামছা পিন্ধাল, নহলে নাহিলে ইয়াত পিন্ধাবলৈ। সেইটোৱে ডাঙৰ বেমাৰ এতিয়া। ये सबसे डांगर प्रॉब्लम क्या है, जब कुछ मिलता है तो हम लोग दौड़ के आता है, फेलिसियन चल लगाता है। उसको एनकरेज करने के लिए जो व्यवस्था होना चाहिए उसको क्यों नहीं होता है पता है कि नहीं आपको दोनों बॉस यू आर सिटिंग हियर बिकॉज we don't know about the internal situation of the institution. इसका साथ पब्लिक का साथ एक इंटरेक्ट होना जरूरी है। Not only the politicians, not only a member of parliament, not only the people who have achieved this higher post as a member of parliament, minister, chief minister, इन लोगों को बोल के फायदा नहीं है। जनरल आदमी को बोलना चाहिए जो बेनिफिट लेगा उसको। इसको थोड़ा इंटरेक्ट करने के लिए एक व्यवस्था होना चाहिए। और आप लोग का साइंटिस्ट, आई रिक्वेस्ट ऑल द साइंटिस्ट to explore what you call अपना ढोल अपनी बजाओ, अपना लगे कबल है वो कथा तो आप लोगों को बोलना पड़ेगा। I am doing this research, I am presenting these papers, I am giving this contribution to the society and contribution, I am contributing myself। इसको बोलना पड़ेगा, नहीं तो कुछ किसी को पता नहीं चलेगा। ये कैंपस जो है, कैंपस का भीतर दूसरे से हम लोग पहले आरआरएल देखता था लाल लाल, उसको अभी उसको भी दिखाई नहीं दे रहा है। हम कुछ क्या हो रहा है इसको पता ही नहीं चलता है। If I am not wrong, what you are doing we don't know। I am just asking Dr. Devri. He have shown this manufacturing bricks from Brahmaputra sand of Brahmaputra. He shown it to Honorable Vice President, I think, Venkaiah Naidu ji. उसके बाद जब बोलते हैं नहीं ब्रह्मपुत्र बाली तो की बिलिगो, ब्रह्मपुत्र बाली কোনো ইউজ নাই, আপোনালোকে তাক ইটা বনাইছে। এতিয়া যে ইমান চুৰাং বালি কাৰণে যে সদায় সদায় আমাৰ ঘৰৰ ৰাস্তাবিলাক বেয়া কৰিছে, তো ব্ৰহ্মপুত্ৰ বালি কোনে খাই গব? এইটো আপোনালোকে জলদি মলদি কমাৰ্চিয়েল ব্যৱস্থা কৰি দিয়ক, যাতে ব্ৰহ্মপুত্ৰ কিমান ইটা বনাবলৈ বনাই থাকক, আমাৰ কি আপত্তি আছে? ভালে হ'ব, ব্ৰহ্মপুত্ৰটো খালী হৈ যাব, হয় নে নাই? এইটো কমাৰ্চিয়েল ইয়াৰ কাৰণটো কি গম পাইছে না? আপোনালোকে যিবিলাক আৱিষ্কাৰ কৰে সাইন্টিষ্ট বিলাকে, ইমান ভগৱানে আপোনালোকক সেই গুণটো দিছে, ভগৱানে আপোনালোকক ইমান এটা গুণ দিছে, আপোনালোকে ইমান নলেজ দিছে, ইমান কেপাচিটি দিছে যে আপোনালোকে কোনোবা বিষয় এটাত সোমাই গৈ তাৰ পৰা আৱিষ্কাৰ কৰে। ইট নট অনলি দ্যাট ইউ হেভ টু এচিভ কিবা বঁটা পাব লাগে বুলি তো আপোনালোকে কৰা নাই। ডক্টৰ বিনয় শইকীয়াইটো বঁটা পাবৰ কাৰণে তো কৰা নাছিলে। ইয়াত যিটো ডেডিকেশ্যন টুৱাৰ্ডছ দিছ to his subject, तार फलश्रुति थे आज ये कथा होছে। डेडिकेशन है कि नहीं? उनका डेडिकेशन है, उसमें उसका डेडिकेशन। इसलिए न्यू साइंटिस्ट जो है, कॉम्पिटिटिव माइंड इज सेपरेटिंग बट डेडिकेशन इज सेपरेटिंग। कॉम्पिटिशन হলে অসুবিধা হ'ব, কম্পিটিশন হলে জেলাসি হৈ যাব। মই নাভাবো যে কম্পিটিশন টু জেলাসিত আহিব লাগে। ইট শুড নট বি টাৰ্ন টু জেলাসি, ইট শুড বি টাৰ্ন টু এ প্ৰডাক্টিভ সিস্টেম। প্ৰডাক্টিভ কথা ভাবিব লাগে। মই কেতিয়াও এজ এ এমপি কোনোবাই ভাল কৰিলে মই কেতিয়াও জেলাস নাই হোৱা, কাৰণ মোৰ কেপাচিটি আই নো মাই what you call breadth and length of my capacity। so হেতু জুখি পেলাই তাক আগবাঢ়িব লাগে আৰু ক্ৰস কৰিব পাৰিলে ভাল। মই নতুন সাইন্টিস্ট, not only the senior scientists, I'm not appealing the senior scientists there, you are working and you are guiding the new scientists, but new scientists যিসকল আছে, যিসকল 10 বছৰ হৈছে, যিসকল ইয়াত 15 বছৰ হৈছে, মই ভাবো তেওঁলোক নতুন মানুহ। এই নতুন সময়ত বহুত কাম কৰিব লগা আছে। You see, अमेरिका ভাল, why? सबे कहे, और क्या बोलते हैं पता है, न्यू जो जनरल मैं साइंटिस्ट लोग को मिलता हूँ जो थोड़ा दिमाग उनको भगवान दे दिया, उसको सब इंडिया से भाग जाता है। इंडिया में कुछ नहीं, अरे क्या कुछ नहीं है, बोलो है कि नहीं सर? आप यू नो क्या बोलते हैं नतुन मानुह लगे की कय ना ना অসমত একো স্কোপ নাই, ইন্ডিয়াত স্কোপ টু হু উইল গিভ দি স্কোপ? যেতিয়া বস্তু এটা আপুনি আৱিষ্কাৰ কৰিব তাক লৈ যোৱাৰ কাৰণে ব্যৱস্থা আছে। সব কথাই যে গভৰ্নমেন্টে করবে কথাটো না, নিজাকো তো কিবা আছে। साइंटिस्ट বিলাকে নিজাকে कुछ कर सकता है कि नहीं बोलिए আপনার? Who are your scientist? अब পলিটিশিয়ান যদি লাগে আমি সাইন্টিস্ট কৰি থাকিম আৰু কি আছে কথাটো, আমি সাইন্স হৈ যাম, আমি কিবা কি কৰি দিম, এটো নহব নহয়। ইউ হ্যাভ গট দ্যাট ক্যাপাসিটি, যে ভগৱানে আপোনালোকক ক্যাপাসিটি দিছে, ইয়াক আপোনালোকে জ্ঞানটো গোটেই ভাণ্ডাৰটো এক্সপ্লোৰ কৰি পেলাই আপোনালোকে তাক প্ৰয়োগ কৰিছে মানে তাক ব্যৱস্থাটো লৈছে, গতিকে মই ভাবো তাক প্ৰয়োগ কৰিব লাগে। এইটো কথা নেকি যে মই যেতিয়া বিভিন্ন জায়গাত গৈছো, নাই নাই কানাডা ইজ ভেৰি গুড, ইংল্যান্ড ইজ ভেরি গুড, বলে তোমার মতান মসি আছে না নাই, আঙ্গুল আছে না নাই, তো কেনেকে ভাল নাই, ইয়াত রাস্তা পদূলি বিরাট ভাল, তাত পেমেন্ট করলে পায়, এইবিলাক মানুহৰ মাথা সোমাইছে। इंडिया व्हाट यू हैव टोल्ड, आपने जो बोला सब सड़क से लेके कितना सब साइंस यही हुआ है, और जो ब्रेन ड्रेन हुआ है, द मैक्सिमम साइंटिस्ट एंड डॉक्टर्स आर फ्रॉम इंडिया, यस और नो? आई हैव हर्ड। তেওঁলোকে তাত গৈ পেলাই যদি কাম কৰিব পাৰে, ইয়াতো স্কোপ ল'ব পাৰে, স্কোপটো আপোনালোকে ক্ৰিয়েট কৰিব লাগিব। এণ্ড স্কোপ শুড বি গিভেন বাই দি বছ অফ দিছ ইনষ্টিটিউশ্যন লাইক শাস্ত্ৰীজি এণ্ড মুখাৰ্জীজি। আপোনালোকে স্কোপ বিলাক দিয়ক। RFIটো এই কথাটো কৈছো যে নতুন মানুহবিলাকে কাম কৰাৰ এটা স্কোপ দিয়ক, আৰু যিহেতুকে মন্ত্ৰী, মিনিষ্টাৰ্ছ, প্ৰাইম মিনিষ্টাৰ সব এইবিলাক মানুহৰ লগত কোনোবা নাই কোনোবা ইণ্টেলেকচুৱেল মানুহ জড়িত আছে, তেওঁলোকে ফিডবেকটো তেওঁলোকক দিব লাগে। তেতিয়াহে পলিসি মেকিং হ'ব, পলিসি মেকিং হলে তাৰ ব্যৱস্থাটো হ'ব। নতুন মানুহবিলাকক কাম কৰাৰ এটা স্কোপ দিয়াৰ কাৰণে মই বহুত ব্যৱস্থা কৰিছো, আৰু মই এই কথাটো কৈছো। যি নহওক এইবিলাক ইমানটো কথা ক'ব নালাগে, ইমানটো কথা মই কৈছো আপোনালোকক সেইকাৰণে যে সাইন্টিষ্টসকলক লগ পাইছো। আজি এটা ভাল দিন, গোলাঘাটৰ সন্তান, আৰু তাতে কচুগাঁও নিচিনা মানুহ বহুত ভিতৰৰ জেগাৰ পৰা আজি আহি পেলাই বোকাতে পদুম ফুল ফুলে, হয় নে নহয়? তো ক'ত আৰু টাবততো নুফুলে নহয়, তাতে ফুলিব। গতিকে বিনয় শইকীয়া ডাঙৰীয়া তেনেকৈ এটা আপুনি এটা ইনষ্টেন্স আপুনি এটা নজিৰ স্থাপন কৰিছে যে নিৰবিচ্ছিন্নভাৱে কণ্টিনিউয়াছলি যদি কাম কৰে তাৰ ফল ক'ৰবাত নাই ক'ৰবাত পায়। এইটো শান্তি স্বৰূপ ভাটনগৰ বঁটা গোটেই পৃথিৱী বিখ্যাত, আৰু এইটো আপোনাক আমি ভাল পাইছো যে আপুনিতো ভাল পাইছেই, আপুনি নিশ্চয় ভাল, আপোনাৰ তাতকে আনন্দ নাই, কিন্তু আপোনাৰ লগত ৰিলেশ্যন থকা আপোনাক থাকে বেয়া পোৱা মানুহটো ভাল পাইছে, মই ভাবো হয় নাই? আপোনাৰ যি লগত কম্পিটিশ্যন আছে কিয় ভাল পাইছে? কাৰণ এইটো এটা এচিভমেণ্ট, ইজ এ গ্ৰেট এচিভমেণ্ট ফৰ দি নট অনলি ফৰ দিছ নিষ্ট বাট ফৰ দি মেনকাইণ্ড এণ্ড হিউমেন কোলৰ ওপৰত আপুনি যিটো কথা চিন্তা কৰিছে, মই আপোনাক কৰিছো। মই আপোনাক পুনৰবাৰ শুভেচ্ছা জ্ঞাপন কৰিছো, আৰু যেতিয়া আপুনি বঁটা পাইছে নিশ্চয় আপোনাৰ আনন্দ হৈছে, আপোনাৰ ঘৰৰ মানুহ আনন্দ পাইছে, বাকী সকলো আনন্দ। নতুন জেনেৰেশ্যনক এই কথাটো অকমান আপুনি কেতিয়াবা ভৱিষ্যত দিনত ইণ্টাৰেকশ্যনত আপুনি এইবিলাক কথা ক'ব। আপুনি কালি গোলাঘাট যাব বুলি কৈছে, কলেজ যাব বুলি কৈছে, অকল সম্বৰ্ধনা লৈ থাকিলেও ঠিক নহব, তাক ক'ব লাগিব। গামোচাটো পিন্ধাব ঠিকে, তাৰপিছত পাহৰি যায়, কিন্তু তাক আপুনি কণ্টিনিউ কৰাৰ দায়িত্বটো কিন্তু আপোনাকহে মই কৈছো। আমি আৰু আপোনাক গামোচা পিন্ধা এৰি দিম, আৰু গামোচা পিন্ধালো আৰু গ'ল, আৰু পালে মিটিঙে চিটিঙে ক'ৰবাত ক'লো আৰু তাতকে নহয়, হয় নে নাই? কথাটো সঁচা কথা, যিটো তাক কণ্টিনিউশ্যন অফ ইয়ৰ হোৱাট ইউ কল কণ্ট্ৰিবিউশ্যন, আপোনাৰ কণ্ট্ৰিবিউশ্যনটো কণ্টিনিউ হৈ থাকক, নতুন জেনেৰেশ্যন আপোনাৰ কাৰণে আপোনাৰ দ্বাৰা ইনস্পায়াৰ্ড হওক, আৰু ভৱিষ্যত দিনত মানুহ সাইন্টিষ্ট বুলি নহয় নতুন কথা চিন্তা কৰিবৰ কাৰণে এটা সুবিধা পাওক। এই কথাটো আপুনি নজিৰ স্থাপন কৰিছে, মই আপোনাক ধন্যবাদ জনাইছো। আৰু মই পলিটিচিয়ান হিচাপে নাই কোৱা, পলিটিচিয়ান হিচাপেতো ঢেৰ কিবা কিবি কৰি দিব পাৰিম, ইমানটো নাই কোৱা। মই এজ এ বয়ান অফ আছাম মই এই কথাটো অনুৰোধ জনাইছো। অসমীয়া মানুহে কৈ থাকে, মই নতুন সাইন্টিষ্টসকলকো কৈছো, ইয়াত কৰ্মচাৰীসকলক কৈছো যে আপোনালোকে যিবিলাক কাম কৰিছে তাক যিকোনো মূল্যৰ বিনিময়ত কিন্তু মানুহক ক'ব লাগে। ইয়ালে মানুহ আহে, আহি পেলাই চাই, आदमी लोग आता है यहाँ पर, आके देख के जाता है। मैं अभी शइकिया साहब से बात किया, तो लाइवलीहुड मिशনৰ লগতো অলপ জড়িত হ'ব লাগিব। জীয়াই থাকিবৰ কাৰণেও মানুহৰ লগত কথা আছে অকল এইটো ইমান কোটি টকা আমি খৰচ কৰিছো ইমান কোটি টকা বহুত কোটি টকা চৰকাৰে খৰচ কৰে ইয়াৰ পৰা মানুহে বেনিফিটো হ'ব লাগিব আই হেভ সিন আপোনালোকে কেতিয়াবা স্পেচিয়েলি ভিলেজ লৈ পেলাই আপোনালোকে কামো কৰিছে বহুত কাম কিন্তু লাইভলিহুডৰ কাৰণে যিটো কথা চিন্তা তেনেকুৱা চিন্তা আপোনালোকে কৰিব লাগিব মিনি সিমেন্ট প্লেন্টটো বন্ধ হৈছে আপোনালোকে মেডিচিন আৰম্ভ কৰিছিলে অৰ্থৰাইটিছ মেডিচিন মই দেখিছো অৰ্থৰাইটিছ মেডিচিনটো কোনে পেটেন্ট কৰিছে মই নাজানো বাট জীয়াই থাকিবৰ কাৰণে যিবিলাক কথা আপোনালোকে কলপটোৱা পৰা থ্ৰেড বনোৱাৰ কথা চিন্তা কৰিছে এইবিলাক কমাৰ্চিয়েলাইজেশ্যন কৰিব লাগিব কিন্তু কমাৰ্চিয়েলাইজেশ্যন যদি কৰিব নোৱাৰে তেতিয়াহ'লে আৱিষ্কাৰ কৰি ইয়াতে থাকি যাব ইয়াত কোনো লাভ নহ'ব যেনেকৈ থেচিছ লৈ পেলাই ডিগ্ৰীটো ডক্টৰেট পোৱাৰ পিছত ইনক্ৰিমেণ্ট বঢ়াবৰ কাৰণে ডক্টৰেট ডিগ্ৰী কৰি পেলাই আলমাৰীত ভৰাই থৈ দিয়ে তেনেকৈ হ'লে কিন্তু কামত নহ'ব হয়তো ক'লো মই ইয়াক যিকোনো বিন্দু মানুহৰ মাজত লৈ যাব লাগে आपको हम लोग स्कोप you are giving scope to the scientists and what they have done it should be benefit the people at any cost সবটো মানুহকে বেনিফিট কৰে কিন্তু এটো আলমাৰীত ভৰাই ৰখা থেচিছ হ'ব নালাগে আৰু যিবিলাক আৱিষ্কাৰ আপোনালোকে কৰিছে সেইবিলাক মানুহৰ মাজত যাব লাগিব মই এইটোৱে ৰিকুৱেষ্ট সায়েন্স এণ্ড টেকনলজি মিন্স সায়েন্স এণ্ড টেকনলজি ফৰ দি পিপল not for the scientists and for the politicians like us আমি ইয়াতে আহি পেলাই বাথৰুম গামোচা পিন্ধাই গ'লে ইয়াতে লিমিটেড থাকিলে দিগদাৰ হ'ব এই কথাটো মই কৈ আমাৰ প্ৰধানমন্ত্ৰী ডাঙৰীয়া সদায় কৈ থাকে লোকেল ফৰ দি ভোকেল লোকেল ফৰ দি লোকেল যিবিলাক আমি লোকেলি আমি আৰম্ভ কৰিছো মই বেল যাবৰ কাৰণে সক্ষম হৈছো আকাশ মই আই এম ইন standing committee of defense I have seen that how low combat aircraft is manufactured and designed by the Indian scientists I have seen some special what you call technology developed in the missile science they are now executing for the manufacturing for army what brilliant idea have got in our brain of our scientist iman brilliant মানুহ আছে scientist আছে তেওঁলোকে আপোনালোকে ভাবিব নোৱাৰে লো কম্বেক্ট এয়াৰক্ৰাফ্ট আজি আৰম্ভ হৈছে হেলিকপ্টাৰ আৰম্ভ কৰিছে মিসাইল আৰম্ভ কৰিছে আকাশ ব্ৰহ্মোস এইবিলাক যেটা আৱিষ্কাৰ হৈছে আৰু তাৰ লগে লগে বহুত লোকেল টেকনলজি আপুনি কিবা এটা বস্তু উঠি পেনে কৰ হয় বোলে সায়েন্স চাইনাৰ হয় গাহৰি কটা মেচিন এটা আনছে কৰ হয় চাইনা হয় বুলি কৈছে নক কটা মেচিন কৰ হয় চাইনা হয় আৰে গালি পাৰি থাকে কিবা চাইনা কিফালটো বস্তু আনি আমি চলাই আছো হয় না কথাটো গতিকে মেড ইন ইণ্ডিয়া মেক ইন ইণ্ডিয়া যেটো প্ৰধানমন্ত্ৰী যেটো কথা হৈছে এটো বেলেগে দিব নোৱাৰে এটো আপোনালোকে দিব এই কথাবিলাক ভাবিব আৰু ভৱিষ্যতত আপোনালোকক আৰু মই ভাবো আমি যাক পাৰো মই যাকে পাৰো মই নেক্সটৰ কথা কওঁ আৰু নেক্সট বহুত ওপৰলৈ যাওক ইয়াকে কামনা কৰি মোক ইয়াত কথা বেছি কথা কৈ দিব নালাগে আচলতে কি জানে আমি পাঁচটা মানুহতে কথা কওঁ ইমানকেইটা মানুহ পালতে কথা কৈ থাকিম গোটেই দিনটো হয় না ইমানটো নকৈ मैं हिंदे मोर वक्तव्य समर्पित करूं नरहरि सर आपको मैं धन्यवाद देता हूं कि आपने मेरे को बुलाया आपने भी चालाकी किया मैं तो फंस गया यहाँ पर मेरा बहुत टाइम जो भी है फिर भी इंटेलेक्चुअल के आदमी का बीच में बैठना भी एक अलग मजा है নহলে আমি ভোট আমুকক গালি পৰা এইবিলাকতে ব্যস্ত থাকো ব্ৰেইনৰ লগত আমাৰ কম সম্পৰ্ক কম হৈ গৈছে মই বৰ সুবিধা পাই সকলোকে ধন্যবাদ জনাই ডক্টৰ বিনয় শইকীয়া ডাঙৰীয়া আৰু লগতে এই কথাটো কোনোবাই ইনফেৰিটি কমপ্লেক্সিটিত ভুগিব নালাগে যে মই পুৰস্কাৰ পোৱা নাই মই কোনো স্বীকৃতি পোৱা নাই এই কথাটো ভাবিব নালাগে কন্ট্ৰিবিউশন সবৰে 1% কন্ট্ৰিবিউশনটো বহুত ডাঙৰ কন্ট্ৰিবিউশন এই কথাটো সদায় মনত ৰাখিবলৈ নো ওয়ান শুড বি মানে কেতিয়াবা হৈ যাব পাৰে এইবিলাক কথা ভাবিব নালাগে কিন্তু আপুনি সান এমং দি ষ্টাৰ্স এছৰ ন এখানে আপোনাক ধন্যবাদ দি মই বক্তব্য সামৰিছো
Thank you very much, sir. So this is what a politician by profession and scientist by nature will speak. And I think this is very inspiring and I cannot resist. But sir, I will take only 2-3 minutes. What we have done in some areas are very clear, whether it is COVID testing lab, genome sequencing and others. And we also have made strong contributions for in petroleum sector, tea sector. But I would like to bring, because of this bioresources, we are now trying to make NIST as a hub, but not because our honorable ex-chief minister and current minister of the Ayush, Sri Sarvanan Sonwalji, for immunity mission, we have a strong plan to look at herbs, spices, medicinal plants, fruits, vegetables, and the Bahag Bihu ka 100 vegetables that we have, that And that we are trying to do the scientific validation. That was one of the projects that we have taken. And in the campus, we have more than 500 germplasm of different type of ginger. They're all different. And he has seen, and he was so much surprised. He was only hearing. And more than 200 different varieties of turmeric. And we have the germplasm bank where we are making, and we are now trying to look at what is the morphological, genetic, chemical, and phytopharmaceutical evaluation. So from the scientific validation of the traditional knowledge is concerned, NIST Jorhat, we are also trying to have an NABL and FSSAI accreditation. NABL accreditation has almost come. Vinay played a very, very important role in that. So we are not only doing the topmost research in the immunomodulation and AYUSH, and we are also developing all the facilities for the analytical facilities and the knowledge. And most importantly, this is one of the centers of great relevance to the entire country, that we are using artificial intelligence and machine learning applications to evaluate the variety and variability of these phytochemicals and phytopharmaceuticals, which is of great strength of international level. So, sir, we would like to tell you that we are very, very happy that in the AYUSH, where we are trying to bring the most modern technology for the benefit, and if you can see that our Honorable Minister for AYUSH, Sri Sarvan Sonowalji, I am also planning to meet him, and with your support, and we will definitely be making a good contribution for the development of Bharat. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your very inspiring speech.
Thank you, sir, for briefing the activities and infrastructure that can really strengthen the area of traditional medicine and traditional knowledge. So, ekinite Srijut Kamakhya Prasad Dasa Dangoria Amar Majot উপস্থিত থাকি ডক্টৰ বিনয় শইকীয়াৰ লগতে বিজ্ঞান আৰু বিজ্ঞানৰ লগত জড়িত প্ৰতিজন ব্যক্তিকে উৎসাহিত কৰাৰ বাবে মই ধন্যবাদ জ্ঞাপন কৰিছো। এতিয়া we are moving to the next agenda. As you know, every year we offer some certificates of appreciation for the staff members who did for their exemplary work in the area where they are involved. So to conduct this program, I would like to request Mr. Rajiv Teka, Senior Scientist, RPBD Division, to the dais. Mr. Rajiv Teka.
Respected Director of CSIR NIST, Dr. Jian Sastry, Honorable Chief Guest, Professor Pulak Kumar Mukherjee, and Honorable Member of Parliament Rajya Sabha, Mr. Kamakhya Prasad Dasa, and Bhatnagar Awadi, Dr. Binay Kumar Soikia, seniors, colleagues, and research workers. This year, the top management of CSIR NIST had decided to encourage the people who have constantly and dedicatedly given an exemplary performance in their work. And so we seek the nomination from the HOD, and based on the nomination we have received from the HOD, the staff has been selected. And as you know, that during the last 1 and 2 years, but a pandemic situation of COVID-19, our life already was in a halt. But CSR continue its research work and other activities. And apart from this, CSR has NIST has also established COVID-19 lab. It has done the SRTP program, summer research training program, and also prepared the sanitizer distributed, and also conduct some awareness program also. And during this total journey, the staff members who have given their commendable contributions to fulfill the mission and objective of CSIR NIST, a group of section has been selected to encourage them with a certificate of appreciation. Now it's my pleasant moment to announce the persons who got the appreciation certificate. I would like to request our Honorable Director, sir, to give you the certificates. I will call one by one name. I request all of them to come one by one to the stage and take the certificate from our guest. First is Sandan Barua, Mr. Sandan Barua, Technical Assistant. He is from SCDS division. At the beginning of the COVID lab, actually, we are having some problem in RT-PCR machine. So we must acknowledge his technical knowledge for repairing the RT-PCR machine. And we have established a COVID testing lab. And besides this, he's also involved in CCTV surveillance, UPS, and other online meeting. Yes. The second candidate is Tamir Rajan. He is from BLI, actually Itanagar, so he will not be here. We will send his certificate. And his third is Sostop Photosaiza. Please come. His expertise in handling the high-end machines in geoscience is very helpful to complete the all field-oriented projects. And we also acknowledge his involvement in the Bagjan project. Next, I would like to call Himanshu Lekhak. He is from Agro-Technology and Rural Development Department. He was actively involved in the collection of samples from the fields, maintenance of the floriculture, cleaning of the aquatic use of the biodiversity park of CSIR NIST. The next is Gaurav Kumar Rastogi, Technical Officer from Chemical Science and Technology Division. Gaurav Kumar Rastogi. If Gaurav Kumar Rastogi is not there, head from the CSTD can take the certificate. Or Sanamani Das. Probably CSTD. Let us we can. Head is there. The next is Tobiul Ahmed, Technical Officer from Chemical Engineer Group. He is actively involved in 7 major projects. And he is also actively involved in setting up the testing food laboratory under Steiner project. And now he is working on 2 process which may be the potential future technology of CSIR NIST. The next is Mrs. Arsana Jadhav of Biotechnology Division. Madam was very active during the establishment of COVID-19 testing laboratory. She led the group for handling the samples. The next is Mr. Pawan Kumar Bora. He is from Coal and Energy Group. His excellent skill of handling the coal samples and record keeping. The next is Krishna Prasad Sharma. He is from Advanced Material Science and Technology Division. He keeps all the records and other documents of the material science division so nicely that at any moment that record can be traced within a few minutes. And he is also actively involved in the beautification of the campus recently. Next is Mr. Jayanta Madhav Barua from Analytical Chemistry. Jayanta Madhav is rendering his service in handling 2 major equipments, the NMR machines, and he is helping in the day-to-day activities of the scientists and researchers. The next one is Pranjal Sharma from Finance and Account Division. He is not there. I request HOD Mr. Ramasankar Sharma to collect the certificate on behalf of him. And next is Mr. Raju Kumar from Finance Division. I request Raju Kumar to come to the dais. Pranjal Sharma. Both have done excellent work while clearing the pending files of the CSR pensioner, and during the COVID-19 situation also, they are clearing all the bills. Next is from director section, Mr. Suresh Rana. I request Suresh Rana to come to dais. I also request Ms. Radhika Setri to come to the dais to take the certificate. We must mention their praiseworthy work for the secretary work. During the COVID-19 also, they kept the secretariat 12 hours open so that no files are pending. Radhika Setri. The next is Mr. Pradeep Bordoloy. He is the official driver of our director, sir. He almost taking care of the director, sir, during that situation. Mr. Pradeep Bordoloy. Probably he is absent. You can give later. The last is Mr. Pritam Bordoloy. He is from administration. He single-handedly dealing all the ERP works from administration, especially the CSIR module. The distribution of the appreciation certificate ends here. Thank you all.
Thank you, Rajiv. So now I would like to request Dr. G. Narahari Sasti, Director CSIR NIST, for the concluding remarks.
I request Binay to give the concluding remarks on my behalf.
Respected our director, Dr. Zain Sastry, and our chief guest, Professor Pulok Mukherjee, and today's guest of honor, our beloved Rajya Sabha MP, Mr. Kamaikha Prasad Dasaji. It is it's my great pleasure and privilege to give a concluding remarks what is told by sir to give at this moment. So all of we know that today is today we are observing the CSIR Foundation Day, 18th CSIR Foundation Day. Due to some reason we could not conduct Sunday because the meeting was there in New Delhi. So we CSIR NIST is conducting the CSIR Foundation Day today, and it is a very educative and very pleasant moment. Both are present today. You know, we became, particularly the students and scientists, we get educated. I mean, myself today, we educated about one of the most important institute in the Northeast regions, IBST. Import. I heard about it, but by sitting here today myself, and we came to know what type of research and how they're contributing to the Northeast region and to the country. It is very refreshing and very educative talk we got a chance to hear today. So thank you very much, sir, for giving us the flavor of your institute. And in another way, it is a pleasant for myself and a pleasant moment for the institute, because yesterday Mr. Kamaikha Tasa sir called me that I want to see you, I want to meet you. But fortunately or unfortunately, I have informed to director sir that he wants to come to our institute, and we grabbed the opportunity. Yes, we take a chance that you please encourage us, particularly the students, particularly young scientists. So it is a pleasant moment for us in this occasion of CSIR Foundation Day. So I think the if I want to sum up in one sentence, we got a both type of results. I mean, we get a flavor of education, a flavor of science, and also a very good and very encouraging and loves and affection from a member of people. So this is very good. I myself feel very happy. So I hope all our CSF family members got a good, have spent times in these couple of hours. So thank you very much to both of the guests today, and to all the participants, all the audience, all the administrative members, all the scientists, and but also to the other guests from the ISBT Inform, and to all the members associated with this conduction of the meeting. So I hope we'll enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Binoy Kumar Saikia. So now we are at the end. I would like to request Dr. Siddhartha Patil Saikia to offer the head ARDD and the principal scientist of CSIR NIST to offer the formal vote of thanks.
Honorable Professor Pulak K. Mukherjee, Director, Institute of Bioresources and Sustainable Development, Imphal, Manipur. Sri Kamakhya Prasad Tasa, Member of Rajya Sabha from Jorhat, Assam. Dr. G. Narahari Sastry, Director, CSIR, Northeast Institute of Science and Technology, Jorhat. Our most valued invited guests, students, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of all the members of CSIR, Northeast Institute of Science and Technology, Jorhat, and also on my own behalf, it's my pleasure, it's my privilege to bring the 80th CSIR Foundation Day Lecture function to a close through a vote of thanks. I'd like to express our sincere gratitude and appreciation to Professor Pulak Kumar Mukherjee, who have raised this occasion with his presence here today, and also for kindly agreeing to deliver the 80th CSIR Foundation Day Lecture. His presence here with us today, despite his extremely frenetic schedule, is testimony to the level of importance accorded to this event. We are all inspired by your gracious presence and by your educative and illuminating lecture, sir. Our special thanks to Sri Kamakhya Prasad Tasa, Member of Parliament from Jorhat, Assam, for his presence today. Your presence really added an additional dimension to this significant function. We are grateful to you, sir, for felicitating our hero, Dr. Binoy Kumar Saikia. We are grateful to our Honorable Director, Dr. G. Narahari Sastry, for the massive support we the organizers received from him. We are grateful to all those who joined online, who have, in spite of their personal busy agenda, given priority to this event. Our thanks are also to the reporter who have been silently taking down notes to ensure that everything are captured and they are presented after the meeting is over. I convey my thanks to the print and electronic media for the efforts they are taking for the coverage of the event. I thank all the members of the organizing committee and all those who have been involved in this particular exercise. Without their cooperation and full support, this event would not have been possible. Thank you very much. I have two announcements. First, all of you are invited for a cup of tea arranged in front of the auditorium. Second, our honorable chief guest, Professor Pulak Kumar Mukherjee, will be inaugurating the Gene Bank of Endangered and Endemic Plant Species of Northeast India, established under the RCFC, that is the Regional Facilitation Center, sponsored by the National Medicinal Plant Board of the Ministry of Ayush, New Delhi. All of you are kindly requested to proceed after tea to the back side of the CSIR NIST Staff Club. beside the scientist apartment where the Zine Bank has been established for inauguration. Thank you, sir. Yeah. All of you are also requested, this is announcement number 3, to assemble in front of the auditorium for a group photo. Thank you. Before tea.